Welcome to Power Lunch Live. I'm Rhett Power, your host. Good to be with you here today. Cannot believe we're in March already here in 2021. Going to have a great conversation today. Like I said, it's good to be with you. Power Lunch Live is here to bring you today's thought leaders, best-selling authors, people who are doing amazing work that we can all learn from to get better at what we do. That's the whole point of the show. And we try to bring you people every week that are going to make you think and make you look at what you're doing and see if you can get better. But we broadcast on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, all those platforms. We monitor those feeds during the show. So if you have a question, send us a question in the feed, and we'll monitor it, and we'll pick those questions out and ask our guests so that we can get to the answers you want. So it can be the show is interactive in that way. Today I've got Dr. Oleg Konovalov. He is a friend, a colleague in the Marshall Goldsmith 100 coaches. But he's more than that. He's a thought leader, best-selling author, business educator, consultant. He's worked internationally for Fortune 500 companies his whole career for over 25 years. He's on the Thinkers 50 radar list. He's the number one thought leader on culture by Thinkers 360, the number one global leading coach with Marshall Goldsmith's Thinkers 50 group, and a newly minted global guru from Global Gurus. I'll pick on him about that.
Rhett, I still do dishwashing. You know.
Do you? Do you really?
Yes.
Do you really? Okay. Because I don't think global gurus have to do the dishes.
Yeah, I do it wisely.
Okay. Just checking, man. So how are you today? It's good to have you.
Thank you, Rhett. Actually, I love talking to you all the time, and thank you for inviting for your show. I'm honored. Thank you.
Well, it's fun to have you. You're like one of the only people that I've had on like more than once. I think this is like the second or third time I've had you.
We have something unsaid.
That's right. So new book. I have my beautiful copy right here. The vision code.
It's identical.
It's identical. That's stunning. That's remarkable. I was hoping you were going to pull out the Russian version or the other version, the other versions of it. But you know, this is a really good book, and it's getting accolades across the board from all kinds of people. And you know, we spent some time a couple of weeks ago, a few days together, going through doing your course, and it was a lot of fun and very eye-opening for me. But can you talk about vision? Because when we think of visionary leaders, we think about the Elon Musk of the world and the Richard Bransons of the world, and these iconic leaders who have changed industries and have changed, you know, the world. Is that what you mean by visionary leader, or can Rhett be a visionary leader?
You are,
in my company?
And you are, and it's not a matter of size. It's a matter of impact, whether on a local scale or in a scale of your really small community. How you lead people. Are you fighting against problems, which are like mosquitoes around us, you know, all the time? You can't kill them all, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or you're leading people into the future in one way or another. Somebody might do it in a greater scale, global scale, like Elon Musk. But it all comes to a simple point: decision. This is your decision to lead people into the future and create that future for them. And it's nothing about I want to be a billionaire, because becoming wealthy is a positive side effect of being successful. But visionary, it's about what kind of value you create for people. If you say, I want to be a billionaire, okay, that is only for you. It's nothing about vision. It's your personal ambitions. You will drive people off a cliff for the sake of your pleasing your own ego.
Mhm.
So it's a commitment for people. It's a responsibility for what you do. And it's a decision, as I mentioned. It's
Yeah.
being firm. I believe in something that can be created. That is quite important. And you have it. We discussed this over the course. You're talking about courageous leadership, which is critical now. It's very important because if we're hiding our thoughts, if we're hiding our ideas, if we're still afraid of reality, how we could look into the future? I've been looking into a very strange question. And I have found that people are afraid of the future of one of the scariest factors. They even prefer to look into their not very good past because it's already been over, but they're afraid to look into the future. So to look into the future, you must be courageous enough, which is a property of visionary leaders, and you have it.
Mm.
You're expanding it globally. Great job. This is quite important. And from another hand, courage. How differently I think today comparing to what I have thought yesterday. How many new thoughts? The fears are given to us by others. How the way you should think, how the way you should act, it's given to us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't do a sky jumping, but I could do scuba diving. Yes. And I wouldn't say that they're most courageous person in the world. No. But it's still about thinking beyond convenience.
Yeah. I love that, thinking beyond convenience. That makes a lot of sense to me. Why do we need, I mean, we're going through just this phenomenal shift in the way we work, how, where we work. We're going through cultural changes and technological. Some say we're in the, in a new industrial revolution. Why is this kind of leadership? Why do we need it at the company level? Why do we need it at the management level? Why do we need this type of thinking now?
Every generation, whether in our personal life or in corporate world, insisting the next generation to repeat their mistakes. Our parents insisted us to repeat their mistakes because they got the same pattern from our grandparents. The same happens in the corporate world, which insisting new employees to do the same things which have been done in a wrong way before, and those things are even not appropriate at all even now. They're causing more problems. But think, what we have got from corporations started from somewhere 50s and 60s of the last century. You should keep your status quo. You should do absolutely certain things. Don't risk. But this is not the way how we could progress. We tend to repeat the same mistakes again and again. We're like hamsters in a wheel. We can't break out. And we can't find solutions if we're thinking about the problems again and again. We're repeating them. We're creating more problems. Yeah. And we believe this is a huge wave we could surf on, but it is not. Because solutions are always beyond the perimeter of the way we see. And we need leaders with vision who really able to create those new spaces where we could explore something, create new meanings. Yes, we're talking about industrial revolution, recent successes in breakthrough technologies, but they did not came overnight. Success is a result of a previous investments in ourselves, investments in the way we think. Mm-hmm. Therefore, we need those visionary leaders who would be bold enough to lead people forward, who are firm on choosing the right pass.
Well, how do you
saying life is not a place we live, it's a path we take. And there I need a visionary leader. If it's just like a swamp living in the same place, doing the same work, I don't need visionary leaders. I hardly even don't need even managers, because it's so become automatic that I don't need even to think. Push that button, That's it. Get back home.
Well, let me ask you this. I mean, a lot of the work that you and I do is with companies and organizations that need visionary leaders.
Yeah.
How do you tap into that? Because what I really understood from you and got from one of the things I got from the book of many things was that there's this, to me, that there's this innate quality that we all have. We all have the capability of being visionary. So in saying that, then how do you tap into that as a manager or a leader with your people? Because you don't want to be the only visionary leader. You want others to be in your organization. You want to install that as a cultural trait of your organization.
And here, very interesting point, a great question. This is not about saying people, I should do this and go into that direction. I must make others the co-owners of vision, who believe in something. They're committing themselves because they believe in that vision, which is greater than you or me or any organization. And then people think, yes, that's important for me. I will commit myself. I see it's meaningful, valuable, and of course, rewarding. And you're giving people a direction. They don't need them to give any push or pull. They know where to go. They're excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
They're working for an extremely great goal, not just beyond the bottom lines or quarterly reports. That's very, very different.
Right.
You're making people the multipliers of your passion.
Yeah.
Passion for future.
I call it creating. You're creating believership. In other words, you're creating this believership around that vision. How do you tap into it though? How do you get to that point where
I will start always. I've asked this question on a day one in our conversation, Rhett. You might remember. Do you believe in anything? And people usually think it's not a matter of faith. It's not a matter of something. As soon as you believe in something greater than yourself, you can create a vision, because your eyes are open for people, for the world. And as soon as you start, as you said, tapping on people, as soon as people believe in something greater than they are, you could get them on board. If people are focused on their ego and just nurturing their ego, you can't do much. But in good sense, in a common sense, majority of people are really believe in something beyond themselves. Let them realize it. Let them see how it's beneficial for all. And this is where you start this journey.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. How do you? One of the things I get from the book, and I took from the book, was that this is really a way to operationalize visionary leadership.
It is.
Right. I mean, and that's powerful, because what that says is you can teach this. This is not just something that's you come to the table with, but you can teach it. Is that accurate?
Exactly. So I could create that believership, as you said, and I could create it in real action. Look, I came from the fishing industry background, as you know. I'm very practical in this sense. Do I have a fish? Great. Don't have a fish? Go back to sea. Keep catching. If it's practical, that's great. I could share it with people, and they can share it with their people. And that makes a difference, because it was important for me when I was to open a window through my book, how those visionary leaders think. It's it's nothing, I would say extraordinary. It is possible. Just learn how the people think and think in your way, but using those recommendations. Because when you vision is about mind shift. We have a problem which I called a mind lag. We just talked with you about time lag when we're flying between like Europe and America, or between America and Asia. We have time lag, but we know we need few days to recover. Vision is about closing a mind lag and stop thinking about the past, focused on the future. Yeah, but still being present and grounded. But you're looking into the future. The majority of people are still looking into the past.
Yeah.
As soon as you help people to shift their focus on the future, they become extremely powerful. They're skipping all that worries, daily worries, which are not necessarily that they're sucking energy from us. You start thinking, because future is not a very defined term or state.
Yeah.
Therefore, it's nothing about time management. It's everything about energy management. How much I will commit myself for that better future. It's not about I would be thinking about the future from 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock. That's stupidity. It's about energy. I love that future, and I will put all of my effort to it. And people see that. And that creates even more energy.
Yeah, it does. Talk about the 4 stages of visionary development.
It's like creating a butterfly. It's creation, because vision comes when your conscious awareness of a problem we want to solve for the benefit of others reaches its peak. And it's not an easy exercise. It's nothing about, I have a calling, or I think it should be work. No, it's really, really conscious awareness of what you would do for people. Think of a Marshall Goldsmith as a simple approach. It sounds simple, but I believe it took him quite a time to come to it. And as Marshall says, I help successful people to become more successful.
Right.
To come to that simple statement, you need to walk a long journey to understand everything. You must learn about many things. You must listen to people. You must diminish your ego. You must have a full grasp of your environment. You must listen to your gut. It's everything, right? And of course, it's about ability and making it strong. Because vision, in my book, I'm looking for the golden ratio of vision, where that brilliance, where this beauty. And it's all about being strong and productive. But it's beautiful thinking, but it's very pragmatic and real thinking. So how to make it strong is quite critical. It's not an illusion. It's not a statement on the wall. It is very beautiful, strong thinking construct that you turn into reality. And of course, it's about acting. Otherwise, your vision will die as an insect.
Mm-hmm.
And it demands strong leadership. And strong leadership is nothing about finding a consensus. It's about being firm. Where do I lead people? And it's related to decision making, maintaining focus and a strong will within the team. It's about culture. It's about communication. It's about everything. And of course, you need to revitalize it to go strong. But say creation, construct, acting, and it's about your thinking, being visionary.
Yeah.
How you are effective or structured in your thinking. Are you looking for problems or you're looking for solutions? How good you are to be a center of change, not just facing change and saying I'm a victim of change. No, it's about being a cause of change. So it's many things which you could learn. But what I have found, it's nothing like I don't have. It's everything about I have now or I can't develop.
Right.
That is very encouraging because we've all been taught and we're all quite good at choices. I remember all these textbooks from school time, we all had answers at the back of the book, just like fix it, it's easy choices. But it's about finding solutions, and that demands that closing that mind lock and think about the future. In fact, Rhett, if we're talking, we still have some questions, as we said, we have something unsaid, we have something unexplored. If we don't have answers from the past, that is a clear definition that all the answers are in the future that we're about to create.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's amazing to me. So I want to shift us to another part, another question. You did 19 interviews with some amazing people, amazing leaders. And what was the most surprising thing for you that came out of those interviews? When you were asking these questions and talking to people about visionary leadership, what did you take away from some of those conversations, and what was most surprising to you?
How good all of these people at making an impact in a matter of minutes. They are very energized and very focused, that making them really, really impactful. None of them been talking about money. None of them talked about own personal ambitions in a big sense. We'll have ego, that's fine, but they are very good at keeping their ego on a short leash. They're very structured in their thinking, like bullet points. And believe me, I'm quite good at researching those things, and therefore I prefer to ask questions which people are not pre-cooked questions. Therefore, people would reveal what they really think. And they're coming back in a matter of a second, just like, that's a point, that's a case, that's my story. Very structured. And therefore, they're very simple in terms how they define those things. They're all very good. They're all well off. None of them are flashing their status. None of them, they're amazing humans. For me, it was exceptional, say, coaching moment. I learned a ton from them. I am blessed.
To me, so it sounds like, to me, to sum that up, there was very much that each one of them had clarity on who they were,
yes,
and what they offer to the world.
Yes, because vision is capitalized on the value delivered, but we deliver this value based on the clear promises to people. Mm-hmm. Your vision will be judged against your promises and people expectations. If you promise people, I want everyone on this planet being happy, that's quite risky to promise. Quite impossible, right? But you say, okay, by that time, we'll have something like done, fixed, solved, ready. Mm-hmm. And people will get this and this and this. All of these visionaries over-deliver their promises, and people, therefore, they make people really satisfied and believing them more. One of the things I have realized, it just like came out of the blue now, and I'm discussing this in the book. It's a leadership confidence. And what I have found, confidence is clearly knowing that I will deliver my promises. And that leads to credibility, because people trust you because you deliver your promise. Great, I'll trust you again and again and again, because I know that you will do it. You wouldn't give me empty promises. And that's a big difference with most of the political leaders, because their promises empty and usually not delivered.
Right. Right. No, that's pretty powerful, and it sounds like, and I know a lot of the people that you interviewed, and I would say I agree with you. I think that there's high credibility, and there's a high credibility there, right? And because over time they've delivered on their promises, they have extreme clarity on what they do and how they do it. And they don't deliver more. They don't promise more than they can deliver. They don't go out of their lane very much either, right? And I think and they've simplified things that people can understand, and they can see where they can go with them,
That leads to another very interesting point: resources. Because everything is bounded to resources at hand.
Sure.
Because, okay, I want to do something incredibly huge, but I don't have any resources. But when you have clarity, you need, and clear focus, you need little resources. You could start small, but I'm a keen salmon fisherman, and fishing for salmon somewhere in cold Arctica, you're not just driving to a pool. You're leaving your car somewhere far, you're walking a long distance. When you don't have much experience and you think, oh, well, I'll go somewhere and I might find a fish, your backpack is extremely heavy because all crappy things in it. Oh, I might need this. Oh, I might need that. And you just, by the time you're on the river, you're already that tired carrying that heavy backpack. But when you really know where you go, what are you about to catch, at what particular season, your backpack is empty. It's just a few little boxes with the flies and a spare reel.
Mm-hmm.
You carry a lot of resources.
Sure.
Plus, when people see that your vision is for them, they are very good at bringing their resources to it. They are really committing an effort, and they're adding a lot of resources to it.
Yeah, and that's what you want. That's ultimate. That's a victory right there, I think.
Yeah.
So, what difference do you see? You've worked with a lot of leaders, a lot of people who've made this shift. What do you see take place when people practice your tools and they practice your method? What do you see change in them?
A level of energy. That's incredible. It's just like whoop, fully charged, overcharged, and they could go miles and miles. It's not about being just enthusiastic. We're all enthusiastic before it comes to responsibility. But they are just fully charged, they're taking responsibility, and they're happy to go forward. It's about vision. It's not only about what I do, but also how my vision impacts me and makes me more powerful. And I could see this with people with whom I'm working, whether coaching or consulting, or people go through my course. It's incredible blessing to see people rising. They become really power stations. And I have a simple principle for all people with whom I deal. We're here to reveal the greatness of each other. And you could see people really becoming greater. And that is phenomenal.
Yeah, it is.
I'm really grateful and blessed to work with such people. So
what is your what are you really excited? This is not having, it doesn't have anything to do with the book, but I always ask, what are you excited about today, and what are you scared about going into 2021? What worries you, and what are you excited about?
I have new ideas. That scares me because I know how much effort I need to put again. When I said to my wife, I have an idea for the next project, and she said, not again. I said, I will try. Like, sneaky promise. But in fact, I could see a lot of opportunities because vision and visionary leadership, it's so great an unexplored field that could make such a tremendous impact that I'm already excited about, what I could do in this year, what else I could do in this year, what else I could explore.
Yeah.
But yet I need to be grateful for all the previous years, because success is a moment that shows a result of previous investments or efforts.
It does, yes.
And to keep it going, I need to invest more of my effort again and again and again.
Well, and you need to do that because you have a lot to say, man. You have you have a lot to offer the world. So don't stop. Don't stop at all. So the book, the Vision Code, get your copy. I'm guessing you can get it on Amazon and all of those places. It was done by Wiley. It's even on the Wiley website. You also offer this course, and I want to ask you about that. How can people register for that course, and when are you doing it again?
I do only 6 cohorts per year. I'm not selling ice cream. This is actually really a top competence in leadership and in coaching. Therefore, I do only 6 cohorts, little cohorts, not more than 10 people. It would be nearest cohort in 19th to 22nd of April, then in 21st to 24th of June, then a couple of cohorts in autumn. And people could go on my website, olegkonovalov.com, and in section coaching, they could read, they could see video testimonials and learn about the program and see how, and talk to me because I'm selecting people for that cohorts very carefully. It's about creating real community of visionaries because it goes far beyond just selling a course. No, it's about really creating a community of visionaries because we need that. We need this very much.
And visionaries need other visionaries to lean on. So that's the nice thing about that community. Yeah.
Exactly, because it's a different way of thinking and acting, regardless country, gender, doesn't matter. You think differently already, you act differently. So of course you need that collaboration to support each other.
Well, Oleg, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for being on today.
Thank you very much, Rhett. Thank you. Much appreciated.
Get your copy. It's it's in stores. It's called The Vision Code: How to Create and Execute a Compelling Vision for Your Business. And I think you can even find my review in there somewhere on those pages.
You are. Thank you.
But anyway, thank you, Oleg, and thank you for being with us here on Power Lunch Live. It's been a real pleasure to have you. You can look at the upcoming schedule on Power Lunch Live at powerlunch.live. And we've got a good lineup coming up. We're going to be changing the show around in a month or so, but at the same time, feel free to check out the site. We're going to be shifting over to the Courageous Live show, but we still have some guests coming up on Power Lunch Live. We're going to continue to do the show on occasion when we have the right guest and the right fit. Tomorrow, I've got Matt Crump. We're going to talk about his battle with cancer, and we're going to talk about a new TV show that he and I are both going to be on coming in the fall. So we'll talk about that tomorrow on Power Lunch Live. We'll see you then.